Hello, Falcon fans. Being joined by Steve Anschutz, the head coach for the Concordia tennis team. My name is Matt Menzel, on the women's tennis team, the NAC tournament champions this past weekend. First time since 2018, and now preparing for the NCAA tournament. First round matchup against the Whitewater Warhawks at 2:30 coming up on Friday. And Coach, you look around, and in every sport certainly dealing with COVID to some degree here to get this 2020-21 school year in. Before we talk about the stuff on the court, how about on and off, how your team's been able to overcome all the obstacles, challenges to get through this school year?
Yeah, it's not been easy. At the same time, I think being able to actually play your sport has been the reward. So we've been playing since February, and I think that's been the motivation for a lot of them is, hey, let's do well in the classroom, let's deal with some of these road bumps so we can play. And that's been the reward, and I think they've looked at it that way the whole year.
How about on the court? What have you seen from your team that's compiled so far a record of 12 victories, 5 defeats, but as of late, they've won 9 of 10?
Yeah, I would say it's actually kind of the same thing. There's been some roadblocks, quarantines, players haven't been able to play at certain times. Although at those moments it was tough, I think that's what made us stronger. And then when we were at the conference championship and we were down, hey, it's just another roadblock. Let's get over it. And that's exactly what we did.
Well, from a coaching standpoint, you bring up some of the roadblocks, some of the challenges, and that certainly has affected your lineup. And you've had some, mixing and matching in that lineup, and some athletes, in the case of Ashley Samuda, a multi-sport athlete, so juggling between track and field and tennis. How you've got kind of gone about, dealing with those challenges and I guess seeing the depth on display.
Yeah, I mean, Ashley has been a great addition to our team. And it's tough, right, when you have two sports that you're juggling between. And not only is it tough because you're physically exhausted, but mentally exhausted as well. I mean, between school and everything. But she's done a wonderful job. She came through for us with a huge win. I mean, she took out Sydney from Edgewood. Sydney is Player of the Year for the conference. She was undefeated in doubles and singles. Ashley goes in there. We built her confidence up that week leading into it, and she played her game, and that's all we needed. And then with other players, I mean, there's been Mallory has been out, and there's been a number of players that have been out. The thing that was really cool to see is when they came back, they were so motivated to be back because they were just so saddened by the idea that they were out.
I'm going to venture to guess there was some motivation just overall going into this year, just getting the opportunity to play again. Am I correct?
Yeah, I mean, playing again, but if I'm honest, that wasn't good enough.
Okay.
Last year, we started talking about how we wanted to win conference the following year, especially when COVID took that away from us. We thought last year we had a quality team that could beat Edgewood, and we prepared so well over the winter season, and then 2 days before spring break, boom, season's done. And I think all the players, we talked at length, and we said that next year when we come back, we're coming for a championship, not just to come back and play, but for a championship, and that's what we did.
Well, I love, the last couple of years, Illinois Tech added to the conference, a great addition from a tennis standpoint. When you look at Edgewood, they've certainly been the rival for the Falcons, and as you mentioned, at times the obstacle in bringing home a NAC championship. So let's go back to May 7th, okay? So you have a NAC tournament semifinal. Illinois Tech is the opponent. That's a team you guys were able to knock off in a thriller in the regular season, 5-4. What adjustment did you see here in round two, and what ended up being a 5-1 Falcon victory?
Yeah, it was just exactly what you want from a coaching perspective. When we played them the first time, we didn't play very well. It was down by them. We just seemed a little flat-footed for whatever reason. I think because it was the first big drive that we did. We haven't been going very far traveling, and that took a little over 2 hours. And then when we got down there, it was windy. It was just circumstance. And you look at that and you tell your players, hey, we got the win. We feel good about it, but that's not enough. Now, next time we see this team, we have to really take care of business because they're going to have belief. They're going to have faith in themselves being so close to us. And so the whole focus of that week was kind of just snipping that in the butt, just not letting them have any faith or belief in their game. And we came out, and we just came out rocking. So it was really cool to see.
And, of course, a couple of days later, you bring home the NAC Tournament Championship. I'm venturing to guess, okay, you lost to Edgewood 5-4 in the regular season finale. You don't have to say much to get the players motivated for an Edgewood matchup. I know that matchup's always circled on the calendar.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the one we're always looking forward to. Bubba is a great coach over there. He's got great players. And this year, like I said, that was the one we were focused on the most. We didn't quite know what their lineup was going to be because with the whole COVID thing, some players could be graduating and some could be coming back. So they brought back some super seniors, people that have been around the block a lot. And when we saw them in the lineup, we knew it was going to be even extra difficult. And my players did everything we've asked for, 6 a.m. practices, the workouts, everything. I mean, the whole culture came together for that day.
How about in that championship matchup, a couple of individuals that stood out? You had Jennifer Mize at number 5 singles, but also Elizabeth Johnson at number 6 singles. Both lost their first set, but both able to come back and pick up victories.
Yeah, I mean, I even told Bubba from Edgewood that those 2 players that he had there at number 5 and 6, they woke up, and one of my players mentioned this, that they came out playing as version 2.0. I mean, they were just unbelievable in the first sets. Good players, but they were just playing unbelievable in that first set. And I told both of them, hey, they can't continue this. They're playing out of their minds. We just keep fighting. We keep chipping away. Just that little bit of water that breaks down that rock. Just keep chipping away. And then once they just get a little crack, now we take it to them. And so for Ellie at 6, it happened right in the middle of the second set. She just kept chipping away, and then we saw a little crack in the mental game, and boom, we took it. And then Jenny did the exact same thing. My assistant, Gian, did a great job with her. Second set, Jenny came out and just took it to her when we saw just a little crack in the mental game.
So overall, what was the big difference in that victory versus the loss to Edgewood in the regular season?
Yeah, I mean, there were a couple things. Edgewood did lose one of their best players. One of their best players were out, so obviously that messes with their mental game. But to be honest, that also meant that messed with ours because we were so prepared to play that player and to play that lineup that when we got there and suddenly it was a whole different team, different places and everything, I mean, that really threw a wrench in it because that whole week we were preparing specific matchups. All right, this is how this girl plays. This is what you got to do. You have to move the ball here, do it that way. So that kind of really messed up from a strategic standpoint, but I'm a big believer that culture always is more important than strategy. And I think our culture of working hard, keep fighting no matter what, that's what came through. It wasn't the strategy that won, it was our culture that won.
All conference announced a couple of days after, and Falcons well represented, and rightfully so, with 4 receiving all-NAC in singles. You also had Ricky Budowitz along with Ashley Samuda, part of the all-NAC for doubles. And just your thoughts on all the accolades that came the Falcons' direction.
Yeah, I was super excited to get all those. I mean, all those players are very deserving. It's one of those things where, like, I wish we got the team award, right, which
Sure.
is that conference championship, and that's what we won. That's the thing that matters to me the most. And then to get individual accolades for the players that have put in the time, it's amazing.
Ricky Budowitz, for a 3rd consecutive year, was all-NAC in singles, all-NAC in doubles as well. I guess what have you seen from her, especially, from a double standpoint? She's had multiple different partners over the last now 2-3 seasons. How has her game evolved in the last 3 seasons?
Huge, enormous. She's always looking at her game, always analyzing how she can be better. She has grown so much as a player, and it's so cool to see that even now she's still not satisfied. She still has that appetite. She wants more. I know she's very disappointed that she wasn't able to beat Cecil from Edgewood. I mean, I think that's the next one on the block. Morgan from Illinois Tech has had her number, but then when we played them on Thursday, May 7th, Ricky was up 5-1, about to win it. I mean, she was just points away from winning, and she was cruising. So now she has that confidence over that player. Next up, now she wants that Player of the Year conference award, I think.
How exciting is it when you look at your roster and you have a number of juniors stepping up, but also a couple of freshmen have made that quick transition from the prep level to the collegiate level?
Yeah, it's been huge. I mean, obviously Ashley coming in and playing number 2 singles has been awesome. She's just an elite athlete that can be out there all day, and she can really frustrate a player. But then also Mallory has been playing outstanding. When she first came in, she looked at me and said, "Coach, I have no idea how I play doubles. None whatsoever." And she has grown so much over the season from a doubles perspective that she's lethal now. I mean, she is so dangerous at 3 doubles.
Let me ask you, okay, the NCAA tournament announced the pairings, the selections coming out on Monday, and you guys will be at Whitewater. We'll talk about the Warhawks in a moment, but I guess just overall, what do you tell your team? How do you go about preparing just for maybe the atmosphere? Forget the opponent for a minute, but just what to expect, because obviously the stage will be a little bit bigger, the stakes a little bit higher. How do you go about approaching that environment?
Yeah, I don't want to make it too big than what it is, because then I think it gets in their head. So what I always tell them is, hey, it's very similar to conference tournament. There's a lot of fans. They cheer. It gets into it. We have umpires or officials. But the real thing that I focus on is I really focus on my players. I tell them we have our mindsets. We have our culture. There's a reason why we always practice this stuff, and that's what I want you to focus on in your matches. So, for example, we're really telling our players to focus on making them play. You're in a big stage. We got to get the ball in. We got to make them play. We don't have to play fancy tennis. We just got to make them play and give ourselves a chance.
I guess just finally, and to kind of piggyback off that, okay, it is Whitewater, a team that you guys have seen in years past. What do you just kind of anticipate from that tradition-filled program?
Yeah, I mean, they get some of the best players in Wisconsin, players that hope to go Division I, and then they either don't get the offer or anything like that. So they get really good talent. At the same time, they're still Division III players, and that's what we tell our players all the time. They're very talented, but if we go in there and we play our game and we make them play, we give ourselves a chance. We really do.
Well, Coach, congrats on all the success so far and all the best on Friday.
Thank you.
If you could make one wish, any wish, what would it be? Would you wish for more money, a better career, fame? Or would you use your wish to make a difference in someone else's life? At Concordia University, we believe God intended us to live for something bigger than ourselves, to live boldly, faithfully. And with online programs at Concordia University, we're here to help you do that. Live uncommon.
Now being joined by junior Ricky Budowitz, and Ricky, a three-time now All-NAC in singles, three-time All-NAC in doubles. I guess when you look at those accolades, and I know right now you're in the here and now preparing for the NCAA tournament, and you'll get time somewhere down the road to kind of reflect back, but I guess just being put on the spot, what do those honors mean to you that the NAC looks at you as one of the top players in this conference?
Well, it's definitely an honor to be honored in that way with those awards. I don't know, it's really, just, I guess, important also for the team, like everyone else getting them too in the conference, and, those of us on the team who got it also. But it's just really special being noticed for that, I guess.
Is there any pressure, or do you put any pressure on yourself? Okay, so you're all conference one year, that now all of a sudden it's like, I got to go back out the next year and try to duplicate, if not surpass what I did one year to the next?
I guess I don't really think about that during the season, but, outside of it maybe, just, that's, one of the things, I guess, that would be nice to have. But obviously winning conference and just doing my best for the team, I guess.
For you, and we'll talk about the team as a whole in a minute, but for you individually, how do you feel this season has been going?
Well, it's definitely been a challenge. We had a lot of difficult non-conference matches in the beginning, which were definitely hard because obviously we're playing really good teams to get us ready for those in the conference. But I think they prepared me for the difficult matches within our conference against IIT and Edgewood. I think I had some tough losses, but overall I definitely got a lot better and was competing with a lot of the top other singles players in doubles, so it was really good, I think, for me.
Forget about the lineup changes here and there for a variety of reasons. Outside of, some of the things that you can't control, has this season felt normal or more normal, or has it felt different? Has it felt like a quote-unquote COVID year?
This spring has felt normal. Last fall, obviously, we didn't get to play, so that was a little bit different. But just being able to play matches and playing with the men's team at the same time was a lot of fun. So that felt good, like a normal season. So it was really fun.
You and I have talked in the past about adjusting to working with different doubles partners. You've had a handful now in 3 seasons. This season you've had a couple. The lineup's changed a little bit. Has that taken some getting used to, playing with Jennifer versus playing with Ashley?
They both have different styles, so it's definitely a little bit different to get used to. But just kind of going into the match knowing that I still have to play the same way and do the same things just to get, make sure that I'm setting up my partner in the right way. But I think that both of, I work well with Jenny and Ashley, so I think it kind of worked well. We just all work well together, so it wasn't too bad.
How about for you? Is there a match right now you look back at from this spring that you say, you know what, that was my highlight so far? That's my favorite match. That was the most satisfying win so far for me.
Well, for doubles, definitely. During the regular conference season against Edgewood, Ashley and I won 8-1, and it was a really good match. We both played the best all season, I think. So that was really fun. And then our IIT match for doubles, the second time we played them in the conference tournament, that we played really well in that one. And then also my singles match against IIT in the tournament. I didn't get to finish, but I think that I played really well and finished strong there.
Is that kind of, you bring up, okay, I didn't get the finish, and that's kind of one of the unique things, first team to 5, you gets the match victory. Is that kind of, unique for you where it's like all of a sudden you're just playing and then, hey, we win?
Yeah, I mean, I probably shouldn't have been looking at the other courts through the scores and just focusing on mine, but I was looking around and I saw that the 2 end courts were almost done and we're about to finish. So I kind of was trying to go as fast as I could so I could get to finish, but I kind of figured I wouldn't be able to. So I kind of was expecting not to finish, but it's definitely different. That's why kind of if I'm losing, I try to take as much time as I can so I don't have a loss on the board, but I don't know. It's a little different, yeah.
It's no secret in women's tennis, Illinois Tech and Edgewood seem to be the opponents of the Falcons Circle. Not taking anything away from anybody else in the conference, but it seems like the last number of years it's come down to Concordia, Illinois Tech, and Edgewood all battling for that top spot. And you get by Illinois Tech, you get Edgewood. So I guess when you look at those matchups, how intense does it get when you face an Illinois Tech or you face an Edgewood? And you guys got the opportunity to face both of them twice this season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, for me, I just kind of focus on the next match that we have. So we played IIT for the tournament. We played them on Friday, and then if we were to win, then we'd play Edgewood. But we kind of just focused on one match at a time. But definitely preparing mentally and in practices for the team that we were about to play. But yeah, it's very intense and we have to be very focused and preparing for that.
What was the mood going into Sunday, okay? Going into the championship, it's Edgewood. You've been waiting for this opportunity again. You just lost to Edgewood about a week or so before in the regular season finale, a tough 5-4 setback. What was the team mood going into that final?
It was pretty positive. I think that the win on Friday against IIT was a good 5-1, I think it was. Yeah, was a really good confidence booster, and we started out really strong. So I think just going into that mentally prepared to do that again. And just come out strong because we knew we had a chance to win, and yeah, just being ready for that.
So then how would you describe the feeling once it was official that the Falcons were tournament champs, first time since 2018? What was the mood then afterwards as you guys celebrated the NAC Women's Tennis Championship?
It was, because I was done, so I was watching for the last 45 minutes probably.
Was it stressful watching?
Very stressful, yeah. I mean, I knew that Ellie and Jenny were going to win because they were up pretty well in the third set, and just how they were playing it, I just knew that they were going to win. So I wasn't too nervous about that, but each point was still a little nerve-wracking to watch. But just, yeah, in that last point, it was just a really good feeling that we knew we won. And, yeah, just storming the court after was good.
So then finally, what's your approach? Okay, you have the NCAA tournament coming up on Friday, 2:30 against the Whitewater Warhawks. How do you go about approaching, next opportunity, next big step? It's a bigger stage, higher stakes, but how do you go about approaching that matchup?
Just kind of at least for doubles, we're just gonna play our game. We don't have to do anything fancy. They're not pro tennis players or anything. So just kind of playing our best, having fun, obviously. And just kind of enjoying being there.
Ricky, congratulations on the success so far, and all the best coming up on Friday.
Thank you.
God never intended for us to live a comfortable life. He created us to go outside our comfort zones, to use our gifts and talents in the service of others, to live a you-first life in a me-first world. At Concordia University, it's our mission to prepare you for that path, so that you stand apart from the crowd and live a life that's actually uncommon. Concordia University. Live uncommon.
Jenny Mize, our guest, as we continue previewing the Falcons and women's tennis as they get ready for the first round of the NCAA tournament at Whitewater, 2:30 on Friday. And you look at your success this spring. You've had 10 wins in singles play, 12 victories in doubles play. I guess when you look at your success, what's been the key?
I would say it's mostly mental and just all the hard work that we've put in this season. just keeping focused in all the matches and just working hard on the court and in the gym has really brought me some success this season.
Now, for a variety of reasons, you've played at number 3, number 4, number 5 for singles, different positions, up and down that lineup, and 1 and 3 for doubles as well. Does that matter to you where you're located in that lineup, or are you just happy to be out there, going out there, competing and doing your best?
Yeah, I'm just happy to be out there, honestly. Wherever coach puts me is where I'm going to play. I'm going to try my hardest wherever I'm at in the lineup, and just getting a win for the team is all that really matters for me.
Do you have to prepare any differently for one spot or the other?
No, I usually prepare just the same. Yeah.
Now in doubles mentioned, you've played number 1 and you've played number 3, and again, for a variety of reasons, just in the lineup. Do you have to adjust your play there playing with a different partner at any one of those positions?
Yeah, it's definitely different to play with a different partner. Just the style that they play and I play, we need to make sure that we match up. So as I play with a different partner, we practice the week before just to make sure that we're good with our teamwork and we know what each other likes to do on the court.
You've gotten the opportunity to play at number 1 doubles with Ricky Budowitz. What's that been like?
It's been great. I really like to play with Ricky. She's always super good on the court. She knows a lot of good strategies, which really helps us play when we play together.
Illinois Tech and Edgewood, the teams to beat for the Falcons, and for you, all you do is win, win, win against those programs, and that's what you did in both singles and doubles every time you played Illinois Tech or Edgewood. How fired up do you get when you, obviously you get fired up for every match, but when you see one of those schools on the docket, does it, jack you up even a little bit more, knowing what's at stake usually?
Yeah, for sure. Those are the other 2 best teams in the conference, and I always get excited when I get to play them just because I know that'll be a really good match. And, yeah, I just get super excited and just really want to beat them. So it's great competition when I play them, so it's fun.
We talked about preparation. You said, you don't prepare any differently depending on what position you're at in that lineup. But, okay, how about against Edgewood? Okay, you beat Edgewood during the course of the regular season, but then in the NAC Tournament Championship, you're facing a different opponent at singles. Their lineup was changed going into that final. Does that change your mindset at all? Kind of, you're going in thinking you're going to face one person, and you end up facing somebody completely different.
Yeah, for sure. So actually going into the day, the team didn't know that they had a different lineup. Coach kept it until we actually got to the match just to make sure that their lineup did change. So he told us right before we played that it was different. So just talking to my teammates who played them before really helped me to figure out how to beat them and what strategies to use.
I've asked Coach and Ricky the same question, but for you now, having been with this program the last couple of years, has this season felt as normal as can be? Has it felt different? Has it felt like a COVID year, so to speak? I know it's been unique for other reasons off the court, but how about on the court?
On the court, it's a little different, just playing with the guys here too, but I actually have liked this season a lot more. The girls have worked really hard, and we have a really talented team this year, so it's been super fun, and I enjoy playing with the guys. We usually go to the matches together, so that's a lot of fun.
Is there one match that stands out, at least to date from this year, among the rest, as you say, hey, that's my, that's a special win. That's one of my favorite matches so far. That's, I was my best that day. Is there one match that stands out?
I would say IIT, just going down to Illinois and playing them, and just going in because I lost at IIT last year, so I just wanted to pull out that win, and I did it in doubles and singles, so I was excited about that.
That was a hard-earned 5-4 win against Illinois Tech.
Yes.
How exciting was Sunday? Okay, take us through, I guess, the different emotions that went on throughout Sunday where you're going in, you're facing Edgewood. You just lost Edgewood about a week or so before to wrap up the regular season. You guys want payback. What's the mindset going in, and then what was the feeling like after when you guys were able to accomplish that feat?
So the mindset going in was just to work super hard, stay super focused. I thought that our team was better just in general, so I knew that since they beat us the week before that, we really worked hard the whole week after that to practice. So I knew going in that we had a really good chance, so we just needed to work hard in doubles. And my doubles partner and I got that one win, so we went into singles down 1-2. So I just knew that we really needed to work hard in singles in order to get that win.
And finally, Whitewater is up next, a first-round matchup coming up Friday at 2:30. How excited are you for this opportunity? Do you think it's going to feel any different, being that it's the NCAA tournament, it's a bigger stage? Do you think that way, or do you just go, hey, you know what, it's like facing Edgewood or Illinois Tech, you just go at it the same way?
I know that's definitely going to feel a little different, maybe a little more pressure, but I think that we're so lucky to have this opportunity and experience to go and play Whitewater, who's such a great team. So we're just working hard this week to see what we can do, and hopefully we can get one win in that.
Well, Jenny, thanks for your time. All the best on Friday.
Thank you.
And you can go to CUWFalcons.com. The NCAA tournament taking place Friday at 2:30. Again, Whitewater, the opponent for the Falcon women's tennis team, your NAC women's tennis tournament champion, first time since 2018. And again, CUWFalcons.com for all coverage and more this weekend from Whitewater.